I turned 30 2 weeks ago. And at first, it was such a weird feeling, but obviously had to happen someday. And my 20s taught me a lot. It was fun, but it was also a wild ride. So here are 20 lessons from my 20s, many of which I wish I would have known before, but you live and you learn. So I sat down to plan this video thinking that 20 lessons from my 20s sounds great, one for each year, let's go, right? But I started writing them down, came up with 30, and decided only 10 were significant enough to share. So in this video, I'm sharing 10 lessons instead. And that is the first lesson in itself. We assume that things have to be done a certain way. The right plan, the right path, the right way of doing things, the right number of years to get ahead. But I've learned that there's no real definition of what's right. Having a long-term 10-year vision is great because it helps you decide where you want to start from. But I've learned that you have to plan for shorter periods because if you refuse to move from the fixed plan that you have, you stop growing. You miss opportunities that aren't according to plan. The people who get what they want out of life are usually a little unrealistic about it. For years, I was very practical, and gosh, was that a mistake? But the last couple of years, I've stopped being very practical, and my life has changed as a result. Most people don't push for what they actually want because it doesn't feel practical. But practical according to who? Someone else's ceiling does not have to be yours. When you think big, you may not get everything on your list, but you will end up doing way more than you would had you played it safe. So the delusional version of your goals is in fact the rational strategy. Taking care of both your body and your mind is very important. Your 20s are the time where your body can really be built. You bounce back from issues faster in your 20s, but that's also when you can form habits. Go to the gym. Time feels restricted, but you will have more energy, you'll sleep better, and as a result, you'll be more efficient. For your mind, it's very important to be intentional about the content that you're consuming. Be very intentional about what you read, what you listen to, and what you watch. If you are constantly consuming negative, fear-based content, doom scrolling content, and just wasting your time on that, it's going to shape how you see the world. But on the other hand, if you consume content from people who are constantly building things, who are very positive, that's going to become your baseline too. Early 20s me was very different from mid 20s me, and it was largely because of this reason. You need to be willing to take some risks in life. Naturally, our brain tries to go against it, and it doesn't help that the school system feeds fuel to the fire and we get trained out of taking risks, even in our 20s. For example, I stayed in a toxic work environment for longer than I should have because I wasn't sure if things would work out and I was scared. But in your 20s, you have to realize that there is no option but for things to work out. You have time in your favor, and so you have to know that things will get better. I have been out of that job for over 2 years now, and I haven't been happier. My work is better, my team is so good, and I make a lot more money than my boss said I ever could. So who's laughing now? I have to be real, my confidence did take a major hit and I struggled to get back up. It was a very tough time. Starting something new, leaving things that aren't good for you, changing up your routine a little bit, all requires some initial push to your comfort-seeking brain. Learning risk management and building the courage to do something difficult will be your superpower. This is pretty self-explanatory and it seems obvious, but how many people actually do it early on? Whether it's investments, your skills, your income, your identity, diversification really matters. The economy is changing at a rapid pace, probably faster than ever before. If you're overly dependent on one thing and it disappears, you're in trouble. The jobs of today will not be the same as the future, and so it's important to continue learning new skills when you're young so that you can adapt when conditions demand it. Things will change, and you don't want to wait too long to find out that your experience is no longer relevant, so it's important to spread your bets. If you're in your 20s, you're in a very unique position and you want to take advantage of it. I learned that the thing you should be doing is probably the one that you're avoiding the most. If your brain is giving you a repeated signal to do something, you have to take action. Otherwise, and I can tell you this with a guarantee, you won't feel fulfilled. A big reason why we don't do things we want to is imposter syndrome. It doesn't just make you feel bad, it actively stops you from taking action. You don't apply for the job, you don't start the project, you don't put yourself out there. For example, my consistency on this channel has been awful. Less than 50 videos in 2 years. And it wasn't just because I was busy, which I was, and there was a lot going on in my life, but mainly it was because of imposter syndrome. I kept thinking that I don't know how to do this thing. I don't know how to make videos. I'm not that creative. I'm just from a numbers background. Who am I to talk about things that I don't have 10 years of experience in? But it doesn't matter. If you know something, you have to share your knowledge. If you want to start something, you have to do it because time goes on. So who cares what anyone else thinks? The days feel long, but now I'm realizing that the years are very short and small actions compound even when you don't see results for months. The only way to beat imposter syndrome is to do the thing anyway, no matter what your starting point is. And if you struggle to do that, surround yourself with people who are taking action and you automatically will want to take action. If they're not in your neighborhood, if they're not in your friend circle, search for them online. The internet has given us so much opportunity to learn and become people who we want to be, so use the internet to your advantage. You might fail, you might succeed, but at least you're not stuck thinking, what if? That is a question that you don't want to have in your head. We spend so much time worrying about rejection, about how we will look, about what people will think if we ask for something, so we just don't ask. But if you don't ask, the answer is automatically no. You're rejecting yourself before anyone else gets the chance. So much unnecessary frustration in my 20s came from me expecting other people to just know what I want. They don't, and they won't. We assume asking makes us look needy or difficult, and it might damage our reputation, and so we play it safe. We stay silent and we hope people will just figure it out. For example, we work very hard at our jobs and then just assume we'll get a raise. Both are important. You have to work hard, but you also have to ask for that raise. Sure, your tone and delivery are important whenever you're asking for whatever it is that you want, but you have to take that chance. The fear of asking is usually worse than the outcome itself, and sure, you might get a no, but what I said before, it's better than sitting with the what if question in your head. This is probably one of the most important lessons I've learned in the last 10 years. Make time for your friends. Put it in the calendar. It's so easy to say that I'm busy right now, I'll make time later, and then months fly by. Social connection is very important for human beings, and if you stay glued to your phone or if you're just going about life being very busy and not making time for your friends, you will get isolated. Put in the effort of getting up, getting dressed, and going out to meet people or calling people home, no matter how lazy or how busy you are. And by the way, you can make friends at any age. Anyone who tells you otherwise is either lying or just not trying themselves. I've actually talked about it with my new friend Claire in the podcast episode that we recorded a few months ago that I can post somewhere up there, so check it out. When I was going through tough moments in my 20s, and believe me, there were a few, it genuinely felt permanent. Like, this is my life now, nothing can be changed. But if I think about it now, I don't even remember the details of what those things were. That strong feeling of doom truly passes away. Life has peaks and troughs, and that's what makes it interesting, and you have to go through it all. Thinking like something good will last forever and living like there's no tomorrow is a mistake, but also thinking something bad will never end is a mistake too. You have to go through both. If you're in a rough patch right now, know that it will end. It has to. There's just no other option. My biggest mistake was that when I was going through rough times, I let everything else slide. Obviously, it depends on what the problem is, and it can be very personal, and people deal with things in different ways, but you have to know that life gets better. Money is a very important part of life. It doesn't matter how that makes you feel, it's true. You should learn about it, you should talk about it, you should be more open about it. If nobody in your circle likes to talk about it because it's a taboo topic for them, then find new people. And if you can't do that, start consuming content from credible sources that talk about money so that you learn more about it. And trust me, that if you are someone who worries about it, then being more open will help ease that burden. Your relationship with money affects almost every decision that you make. Where you live, what you do in your free time, what jobs you take, what risks you can take in life, how stressed you are. And so the earlier you get comfortable with it, the better. You should also be prepared for the worst. So build up that emergency fund so it's there if you ever need it. And this is one thing I'm really proud of myself for. I had emergency funds which allowed me to take the risk of quitting my job in a bad economy. My life would have been so different if I didn't have those funds. And once I got back on track, the first thing I did was build up my emergency fund again. When money is flowing in and life feels comfortable, that's a great feeling, but you can't be living like you'll have that life forever. You have to be prepared if things go south. It's a balance that you have to build between spending money and saving money. And if you're interested in learning more about it, you can watch this video right here. here. If you're in your 20s right now, I hope something here resonates. And if you're past your 20s, let me know in the comments below what I'm about to discover in my 30s. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can see me again. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.